New World PvP community desperately wants some new PvP content. And I totally understand. As a PvP player myself, I would love to see some new content too, something to get people into PvP and of course keep PvP more rewarding. However, one of the greatest pieces of PvP content in this game, and also one of, unfortunately, the most underutilized, is open world PvP. Now, I know that we have a new 3v3 arena on the way, and people are dreaming of cross-server Outpost Rush, and of course, perhaps a new Outpost Rush map one day, but I would love to see Amazon do a little bit more with open world PvP. This is one of the most incredible combat experiences in this game. You get these really cool organic fights in all kinds of different locations with varying amounts of opponents. And in general, open world PvP is just a lot of fun. You have just that unpredictable element to it, and it makes the world feel more dangerous and alive. I mean, just look at this fight that broke out outside of the first Light Keep. Of course, this is one of the most common open world PvP spots in the game, but every now and then you get these skirmishes here, and they are just some of the best PvP content that you can get in New World. But on the flip side, it's also one of the rarest encounters that you'll find, and I think this has a lot to do with the fact that there isn't a ton of incentive for people to actually flag up and engage in open world PvP. These forts are great. This is a great step in the right direction. We have some incentive to flag up and take this fort because people want to get a little bit more bonus with their crafting materials, and I totally get that. However, the big issue with incentives to flag up in this game is that a lot of them are PvE incentives. People are doing things like flagging up to go collect resources, and they aren't looking for a PvP fight, they instead want to take advantage of that luck bonus. In the upcoming PTR iteration, I did notice that the luck bonus has been seriously gutted for open world flagging, so I'm curious why Amazon did that and whether they have an idea to maybe put some other incentive in there that's maybe a little bit more PvP oriented or whatnot. But I think that is fundamentally the issue, is that most of the time when people flag up in open world, they're not looking for a fight, they're just looking for some sort of bonus associated with flagging. And we do have some rewards for flagging up and killing players. If you kill someone who hasn't died in the last 10 minutes, you do get some points for it, and that can work towards your PvP reward track, which can in turn actually turn out to give you some really nice gear. And again, in the new patch, that gear is actually a lot better. There was a ton of gold items on my PvP reward tracks on the PTR, so that might be the reason that they nerfed the luck bonuses so much and then maybe put some of that loot into the reward tracks. For me, that actually makes quite a bit of sense, but again, we have to see what we get at the end of these PTR iterations. They're still making a lot of changes here. So yeah, open world just needs that incentive for people to want to flag up and actually go out and kill the other flag players that they see. And the key concept here is that the reward for killing another player is worth the risk of dying. That's something fundamentally that must be in place in order to encourage that kind of PvP. So I guess the golden question is, what is that incentive? What's the idea that players not only would want to flag up and go and kill each other with, but something that would work well with the community and, most importantly, not get crazy abused? That's always something that I worry about with any PvP incentive, is that people are just going to trade kills in order to get the bonus associated with killing another player. And unfortunately, that's just the reality of gaming. People are always going to take a shortcut. That's the reality of life, actually, not just video games. So yeah, I don't really know what the best answer is, but I have heard some pretty good ideas. The first and the most obvious one, I think, is a PvP-only zone. I'm sure a lot of you guys have maybe talked about this in the past or heard somebody talk about it at least. I think that that would be really cool, but it might be a bit of a miss for the PvE community, so perhaps having the zone being more of a rotating thing rather than a dedicated PvP zone might be a better approach. I'm not sure. Or maybe some sort of open world activity like a caravan that you follow around and you defend it for your faction or whatever, and if you defend it long enough, then you get some associated points or reward for doing it. I'm not really sure what the answer is, but I do know that there is definitely something that is missing in open world PvP, and this game just has too good of open world PvP for Amazon to not try to build off of this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and of course, I would love to hear what you guys think, and what you personally think the open world PvP solution would be. Of course, there's a link to my Twitch there. You can check out my website for written guides to my builds. And as always, send in those clips for the top 5 guys. You can send them to Kristofer at pvpnewworld.com. A thank you to our sponsor, ExpressVPN. They can keep you safe on the internet, and you can get a deal with your first purchase with the link down below. And of course, thank you so much to all of my patrons on Patreon, whether you're supporting now, whether you supported in the past. Thank you guys so much for keeping the show going. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're looking forward to more, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good night, everybody.